Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Storytelling Experiment. Becoming a storyteller, one experiment at a time, real life, rough takes, better stories ahead. Today is Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving. I just wanted to share, I feel like Thanksgiving is a time where you get together with family, you do all kinds of fun things, but you also, when you're with family, reminisce about your embarrassing childhood memories. So I thought that I would share one of my very earliest childhood embarrassing memories. So here it is. It was my third grade year, and I had finally made a very good friend group. I felt like we did everything together. And it took me a while to find. I had moved to this school when I was in first grade. Yeah, I was in first grade, and this group of friends, it took a while to build because second grade I had a little bit of a bullying situation, and then third grade I was placed in a separate class from this one specific person. So I finally was finding this group of friends that I felt comfortable and confident with. And we hadn't really done a lot of play dates yet, so they didn't know who my dad was. And we go into this awards assembly, and we're all sitting down in the cafe-gym-autorium, as you know, because most elementary schools don't have an auditorium. They just have the cafeteria that is also used as the gymnasium and the auditorium. Okay, so we're in the cafe-gym-autorium, and they set up chairs for like the parents along the back and the teachers on the sides, and all of the kids just have to sit on the floor, which is fine because we're kids, whatever. So number one, I want to comment because I was in this new outfit that made me feel so confident, and I felt like I looked like $1 million. I don't know if you know Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. No, did you say Notre Dame or Notre Dame? I said Notre Dame, but I don't know if that's how you say it. Regardless, she just was this like gypsy lady, right? And I had this new skirt, and it was blue, and it had sequins and like these frilly things, and essentially looked like a gypsy skirt, at least in my third grade mind. And I was wearing this like long sleeve blue shirt that kind of matched, and I felt so cute. I also had these like chunky heels on because I knew that I was going to be getting an award. Looking back, I do not remember what award it was for. Probably honor roll or something. I don't know, maybe attendance. I don't know. And my parents had come to support me, which was so nice because they're teachers, so it's hard for them to come to those types of things too. So my dad was sitting in one of the chairs in the back, and all my friends were like looking around the cafeteria to see if their parents were there. They turn around and they see my dad, and he is this 6 foot something. He's tall, 6'4" maybe. I'll have to ask him. I think he's like 6'4", and he's not like fat. He's just like fit and big. So he also has this like really curly hair on top, and usually back then he usually had a goatee and like a little mustache thing going on. So they turn around and they're like, wow, look at that guy. Look at that dad back there. He kind of looks like a gorilla. And I was like, that's my dad. And immediately they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no, like, it's okay. Like, I can see how you would think that, whatever, which I really couldn't, but I had just made this group of friends, so I was not going to do anything to like upset the balance. Anyways, so that was kind of funny. And then there's this guy that I really liked. I always had a crush. That's like, even when I was in preschool, I had my little journal that my mom kept for me. Something about, I don't remember his name anymore. I love so-and-so because he saved me from the dragons at recess today. So I always had a crush growing up. And in third grade, that was no different. We're going to call him Evan because I don't want to use their real names. Not that it matters now, just in case, just for them. So Evan, I was sitting close to him, and I felt like, ooh, I'm sitting next to my crush. This is a big deal. I'm gonna get an award in my new gypsy outfit. Not that I thought it was gypsy back then, but that's how I see it now. Okay, so my principal calls my name. We were sitting all crisscross applesauce. My chunky heel was on my skirt. My skirt was long, okay? So it was covering everything when I was sitting. But when I went to stand up, my heel caught the bottom of my skirt. And as I stood, my skirt stayed on the floor while the rest of my body obviously arose. So in front of the whole school, my crush, my new group of friends that I felt pretty solid with, my parents in the back, I was living a literal nightmare. Like that's what people think about when they're having stage fright, right? Is being naked in front. Not that I was fully naked, but I was in my underwear. Like, how traumatizing is that? Is that actual trauma that I would classify now? No, I just think it's an embarrassing experience. But in my third grade mind, like, it was so traumatic. So I pull my skirt up super quick and I'm like, whatever, I'm still going to go get my award. And so I start walking up to the stage to my principal, and one of my cute chunky heels flies off my foot. So not only did I lose my skirt in front of the whole school, but I also lost my chunky heel. So embarrassing. So I quickly get my heel and put it back on, and I finish walking up to the front. And my principal, I vividly remember her saying, "Wow, Ilah, that was quite an entrance." And I'm sure she was just trying to make things better and like laugh it off, whatever. Everyone else laughed. I was straight red in the face, got my award, went and sat back down. And then to make matters worse, I heard later as we were getting ready to leave for the day that my crush did not like me. And I feel like it was because of that moment. Anyway, live and learn. Now I will just wear pants when I have to sit on the floor and stand up. It was right before break, so luckily I feel like that happened, and then we had Christmas break and we came back, and I don't think many people remembered, and if they did, they didn't bring it up to me, so thank goodness for them. Whew. Man, I feel embarrassed right now thinking about it, but honestly, it was just one of those experiences that now is kind of funny. Telling this story, I feel like everyone has embarrassing moments. And especially when you're with your family today on Thanksgiving, you probably will be sharing embarrassing moments. So if you have one that you want to share, please share it in the comments or send it to me directly at justatypicalilah@gmail.com. So that's justatypicililah@gmail.com. You can send that to me and I can maybe read some of your stories here as well. That might be fun. Have a great Thanksgiving. Today's experiment was all about trying to make an embarrassing moment connect with you, and hopefully it came out clearly and you were able to picture everything that was happening. All right, if you've got an embarrassing story, like I said, hit me up. I would love to read them and hear from you. Thanks for listening to this rough take. Real life rough takes, better stories ahead. See you next time on the Storytelling Experiment. Bye.